see how this worked out. Hi Quilty friends, welcome back. Today I wanted to share with you what I'm working on right now. I'm working on creating my own kind of template for my quilt design that I'm going to put on my fall table topper. And I have a whole bunch of leaves in my backyard. And I got that, so that's where I got the inspiration. So I went and I got some different leaves here. And then what I initially did on the table topper, I took my chalk pencil and I just kind of drew around them and kind of laid them out in a design just to see how it would work. And I thought, okay, well, the leaves are a little fragile. And what I did is I have these template sheets that I got from Dritz. I got them for something else. I'm not sure what. They're plastic and you can cut out whatever shapes you want. And so what I did is I took the leaves and then I took a micro and pen and then I just traced around each of the leaves on one of the sheets. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these out. And then I'm just basically going to lay it down on top of my table topper and then sketch around each one. Luckily it's small. Hopefully it doesn't take me too long. And then I'll just use my free motion foot, that's my plan, on my sewing machine and then just follow the lines that I have drawn. And I'm not going to be using this. I'll probably use a water-soluble pen, or I may use the chalk. The chalk is a little harder to get the design to show up, and it actually wipes off a little. So I'm going to kind of experiment with these two, and then I'll trace it. And what I might do, even before I actually test it out on here, I have some practice pieces that I already have set up that I might just put the templates on there and practice before I actually do it on my finished piece. Hi again. I wanted to give you an update on the project and how it went, what I've learned, would I do it again? What I did do is, here are the templates. What I did is I laid them down on my quilt, on my table topper, traced around them. I used a chalk pencil and I used this water-soluble marker. I found it difficult. I actually needed both because I had a mixture of dark and light fabrics, so to be able to see my tracings, it was a little hard at times. So I'm not sure if these would be the right marking tools I would use again in the future. I might seek out something different. It didn't take very long to go around each of the shapes and lay them out. And then when I actually did the free motion, it was fairly easy. It's just those spots where I couldn't quite see my tracings. I had to just kind of wing it a little bit, which was totally fine. It just made, sometimes I had to actually stop and kind of regroup like where I was in what I was doing in terms of my quilting on the topper. But overall, it didn't take very long at all to do it. When I finished and I looked at it, I did make the decision to go back in and add some veining to the leaves to add some more definition to each of them so you could see their components overall. The thread that I used was an Orfil cotton 100% 50 weight. Now, before I went there, I had actually debated if I was going to use a finer thread so that it would meld more into the fabric and it wouldn't stand out so much. And I decided that I wanted it to maybe stand out a little bit, so I did go with the 50 weight. Would I use a 50 weight again? I would probably do two things. One, I would have done my test block that I did talk about doing but didn't do because I was so excited about getting started. The second item, I would probably look for a more fine thread the next time around so that it did meld into the fabric, because patterns are a little bit more on the busy side. So it felt a little busy. Adding the veinings and everything has toned that down. The other thing that I would probably pay more attention to is the maple leaf. As you can see, this was pretty big. And then the other two leaves were kind of small, so to speak, in terms of width and height. So I would make sure going forward that my templates are a little bit more consistent in size. So then I get more of an even quilting pattern, which is why I'm going back and doing the veining in the quilt topper. And overall, I'm really happy with what I accomplished. I experimented. I love it. Will I do it the same way the next time? No, it was all part of the learning process, and I think that's what quilting is taking risks. But my most important lesson learned to you is do a test block. Don't be a rebel like me, but have some fun with it. But for now, I wish you well, and most of all, be quilty.
Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach with our friends.